Hello and welcome, my name is BetaRho, and this is Introducing the Gods. Today we look at Kali, the Hindu goddess of destruction. Kali's lore, while possibly not as well known to Western audiences as some of the other gods in the game, is incredibly deep and interesting. As the in-game lore states, Kali is the second form of Devi, the supreme goddess. The first form was Durga, who was the mother of creation. But rage slowly built up in Durga as she attempted to protect the world from demons, and this rage sprang forth as Kali. The in-game version of Kali is certainly representative of this rage, from the model to the blood-laced animations down to her style of play. For more information on Hindu lore, take a look at the SMITE forums. Her style of play has been tagged by hi-rez as that of a melee fighter. The fighter tag has replaced the assassin tag, and that change makes sense here. Because, while Kali certainly has the ability to duck in for a quick assassination, she's equally as strong, with the right build, as a brawler. Her high health regen rate, combined with her passive, which we will discuss shortly, gives her a unique level of survivability in Smite. That aforementioned passive is called Enrage, which has 2 stages. Kali has a constant 5% lifesteal, but if your health falls below 25%, her lifesteal increases to 25%. This is a great passive for early game jungling, as well as providing a better chance at surviving poorly planned late game 1v4 situations. Her first ability is titled Kali's Rage, again drawing from her lore. It is an activated buff, lasting for 6 seconds. During this, both your physical power and move speed are increased. Your power increases by a base of 15, increasing by 10 each level, and your movement is increased by a base of 15%, increasing by 5 each level. This is one of Kali's main escape abilities, as she has no leap or dash. Offensively, it can be used both to deal extra damage or to close the gap on a fleeing enemy. It has a 15-second cooldown. Her second ability is Blood Lash, a punishing cone attack. Kali whips her blades in front of her, doing a base of 85 damage, increasing by 70 each level, and adding 150% of your physical power. This is her assassin ability, allowing her to quickly deal a massive amount of damage. It's great for securing last hits during teamfights, and the cone is wide enough to hit all minions in a wave from the side. It has a decreasing cooldown, from 15 seconds, decreasing 1 second each level. Kali's third ability is Siphon Blood, again highlighting her lifesteal characteristics. It casts a fairly wide range around Kali, within which she deals a base of 50 damage, increasing by 20 each level, and adding 30% of your physical power. But, more importantly than the damage, Kali is healed by a base of 60 HP, increasing by 30 each level, adding 20% of your physical power. This heal is per enemy hit, with a maximum of 3. This means that, at level 20, with a fairly regular item build, casting Siphon Blood on 3 enemy minions heals Kali by over 600 HP. It has a 12-second cooldown. Her ultimate ability is simply titled Frenzy. In it, Kali spins for 5 seconds, while keeping full control of her movement. During these 5 seconds, she cannot be affected by any enemy crowd control, even negating Artemis's boar. While spinning, she also deals damage every half second, for a maximum of 10 hits. Each of these hits does a base of 60 damage, increasing by 15 each level, adding 15% of your magical power. This is a fantastic area of effect attack for teamfights, as Kali leaves very little room to maneuver around her, allowing her to damage multiple gods. It has a decreasing cooldown, starting at 90 seconds and lessening 5 each level. For her items, I have 2 separate builds I'd like to talk about. Both are certainly worthwhile, though I will dub one the safe class, and one my personal favorite class. They offer somewhat different looks at Kali. My safe class shares a lot of similarities to other melee fighters that I've done videos on, including Bastet. My safe class is a fairly straightforward melee fighter. It starts with Warrior's Tabi, and then moves on to Soul Eater. From there, I get the classic 1-2 punch of Frostbound Hammer and the Executioner to slow and decrease resistance. My late game items are Kinsblades and the Deathbringer. This is a safe and productive way to play Kali, but a different way to look at Kali is a high DPS tank with raised health and lifesteal. I start this build with Reinforced Boots for additional protection and regen. My next 2 items are exactly the same, Soul Eater and Frostbound Hammer. I buy Kinsblades 1 slot earlier, before moving on to Witch Stone, an item I feel is currently underutilized. It adds physical protection, physical power, attack speed, and health, while decreasing enemies' attack speed and physical power in a 30-foot radius. My final item is the Brawler's Beat Stick, adding even more lifesteal, critical chance, and health, while also decreasing enemies' regenerative abilities. By the end of this build, your Kali will have over 3000 HP, high lifesteal, and high HP regen, all while packing a punch. Kali is a pretty pure jungler, a role that is incredibly strong in Smite. If you don't have a few rings around you at any given time, you're not really playing Kali correctly. Duck in and out of the jungle, keep an eye on the minimap so you know when you're needed, and Kali's rage will spell doom for your enemies. Thanks for watching, and please do subscribe for a weekly episode of Introducing the Gods. Next week, we will return to what is currently my favorite pantheon, the Egyptian. We've already seen the 2 melee Egyptians, so we'll be looking at one of the remaining ranged gods. Feel free to click through to the pantheons to see other episodes of Introducing the Gods, as well as random Smite gameplays and commentaries. Thanks for watching.